Here we are standing in Cedar Cottage, and we're going to talk a little bit about tree toppers, because tree topper is the one thing that consumers are looking for advice on the most on our YouTube page and on Pinterest. It's good information, isn't it? So if our customers are looking for that, your customers are looking for that. So I spent a little bit of time talking to some of the designers and Ken, and as we talked about it, this is a perfect example of how we used a bunch of different botanical stems and brought them together. Now his advice was, when you start to decorate your tree, you always start with your topper. So you take the top part of the tree, you make sure that you have access to it, and you put things together in groups or bundles. And so this tree in particular, you see the pomegranate stems, you see the pine cones, you see the berries, and you see the ferns. He'll take a berry stem, a fern stem, and a pomegranate, and he'll bind those three together. Then he'll do that 4 or 5 times. And then he puts those groups or bundles of stems together into the top. Then he adds the ornaments, then he adds any extra height that he needs for his tree. But he always starts at the top with his bundles, and then he carries that down into smaller sets of stems in the designer tree. Let's take a look at some of the other tree toppers that we created at Melrose for the 2022 holiday season. Here we are at Red Velvet. This is the front entry tree. Traditional colors, red, brilliant gold. And you'll see that he took those gold tinsel stems and the gold leaf stem, and he put those together in sets, and they're all protruding straight up from the top of this tree. But as we come down the tree, do you notice the next set of stems? We just moved them a few degrees over. And then as this tree comes down, we move a few degrees more parallel until we get to the bottom, and all of a sudden our stems are going and pointing straight out or down. So this is part of what he does too. He starts at the very top, and then they move just a few degrees at a time as you bring that same theme down. Start with your tree top and then move further down. Now on this tree too, one of the things that we needed to talk about at the very top was the way that he built himself a ribbon base. So we have the stems, but we don't see the bottom part of the stem sticking out of the tree. He's covered all of that with the loops and the ribbons. And so he's built kind of a nest. I call it a ribbon nest. And he's covered that so that the stems are in front of and in the middle of his ribbon nest.